It's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV back at y'all with another one. Let's get it, man. Let's get into last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. First of all, let me start by saying I told y'all. I told y'all that there was a high possibility that Gunther was going to win this rematch against Jey Uso and reclaim that World Heavyweight title. And that's exactly what Gunther did last night. I told you guys, some people agree with me, some people disagree with me. But let's be honest. Jey Uso did not live up to what it means of being a World Heavyweight Champion. Obviously, he has the Yeet movement. The crowd still loves him. But this guy was botching his promos. He was botching a lot of moves in the ring. And he was putting on boring matches, man. He just was not putting on exciting matches. He didn't bring any excitement, in my opinion, to this World Heavyweight Championship. But I will say this. If he was going to lose that title, I don't think him losing that title to Gunther was the right decision. I don't understand why Seth Rollins did not come out last night, cash in that money in the bank, and take that title from Gunther. Because when Gunther was champion, we said the same thing about Gunther. Gunther was a boring-ass champion. Gunther, listen, this promo that Gunther put on with Jey Uso leading up to this rematch, it was incredible. And let me also say, this Gunther and Jey Uso rematch was way better than the original match at WrestleMania. This was a much better match. You know, there was times where both guys, it looked like both guys were gonna, make each other tap out. Pause, no Diddy, But this match was actually exciting. I enjoyed it, right? But like I said, Jey losing the title to Gunther, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I think Jey should have won the match, retained, and we all know Jey Uso has a midsection injury, whether it's kayfabe or whether it's real. Seth Rollins should have came out last night, took advantage of that, cashed in the money in the bank, and take the title from Jey Uso. I don't like how this match ended with Gunther winning, but I knew it was gonna happen. It just made sense, especially when you got a guy like Triple K running the show. Excuse me, Triple H. Especially when you got a guy like Triple H running the show, right? So with that being said, let's get into the start of the show. So we open up the show with John Cena. He comes out, he does his usual heel talk, and this is what's pissing me off about John Cena's heel turn. John Cena has been given the same exact promo week after week since he has turned heel and took that belt from Cody Rhodes. He didn't say anything to open the show that he hasn't said for the last 3-4 weeks. He's saying the same thing over and over, right? So CM Punk comes out, interrupts him, and basically CM Punk asks John Cena, when do you want me to take that title from you because you're destroying the company? As a matter of fact, I'll take the title from you tonight. So John Cena, he agrees to fight CM Punk for his belt, and he acts like he's going to actually, do it last night on Monday Night Raw. But he says, nah, we're not going to do it here. We're going to do it at the Night of Champions. It's going to be the best in the world versus the best of all time. So John Cena gave CM Punk a compliment, calling him the best wrestler in the world. Obviously, CM Punk proclaims himself to be the best in the world. But to have John Cena say it, that's a big deal. So shout out to John Cena for giving CM Punk his props. So we are going to get John Cena versus CM Punk at the Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And I hope CM Punk wins that match, man, because let's be honest, guys. If anybody deserves to take this title from John Cena, it's CM Punk. He's a star, right? He's not just a good wrestler in the ring. He's good on the mic. He gives great promos. The fans love him. Good theme song. And CM Punk at this point is a legend, right? CM Punk deserves it. You understand what I'm saying? So hopefully CM Punk beats John Cena in that match. But I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, but I think he should, man. Anyway, the next segment, we have a match between AJ Styles and Chad Gable. AJ Styles beats Chad Gable with ease. And listen, guys, I don't understand why Chad Gable, he loses a majority of his matches, but when he's his alter ego, El Grande Americano, he usually wins. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here trying to figure out, when is somebody gonna unmask El Grande Americano and officially reveal him as Chad Gable? You know what I'm saying? Because Chad Gable is an incredible wrestler, and I just don't understand why he has to put a mask on and, switch up his whole ego or his whole gimmick to win matches. Just doesn't make any sense to me, right? So the next segment of Monday Night Raw is the women's qualifier for King of the Ring. We got Rhea Ripley's in the match, Liv Morgan is in the match, Roxanne Perez is in the match, and basically Rhea Ripley hits her finishing move on Liv Morgan. Raquel Rodriguez, she comes and stops Rhea Ripley by pulling her leg, and then Kairi Sane hits her finisher on Liv Morgan. Roxanne Perez, who was the newest member of the Judgment Day, jumps on Kairi Sane and pins her to win King of the Ring. And shout out to Roxanne Perez, man. I think she has made a smooth transition from NXT to the main roster. And she's good in the ring. Obviously, she's gorgeous. I think she's a very beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Roxanne Perez. You feel me? Somebody let me know in the comment section. Is Roxanne Perez, she looks like she's definitely some type of Hispanic. Is she Puerto Rican or Mexican? Somebody let me know in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Gracias. You feel me? So segment 4, Becky Lynch comes out for the first time since winning the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank from Lyra Valkyria, and says that, you know, she didn't celebrate winning this title because she doesn't like the fact that Lyra Valkyria wrapped the belt around her waist and then attacked her, you know? But, I mean, at the end of the day, let's be honest, guys. Becky Lynch cheated in this match, right? She didn't win fairly. She also was claiming that Lyra Valkyria dislocated her shoulder when she was walking out, you know, to the ring. She kept rubbing her shoulder, indicating that she has a shoulder injury. And she even claimed that Lyra Valkyria tried to kill her. You know what I'm saying? So she basically says that she's demanding an apology from Lyra Valkyria. So Lyra Valkyria comes out, and then out of nowhere, Bayley runs into the ring, sneaks up behind Becky Lynch, and starts whooping her ass. You know what I'm saying? So she throws the man out the ring. Lyra Valkyria walks up and then throws her back in the ring, and then she basically just, you know, Becky Lynch basically runs out of the ring, runs into the crowd, and leaves, right? So Bayley is back. We haven't seen Bayley in about a month. And Bayley looked really good last night, man. Shout out to Bayley, you know what I'm saying? But don't be surprised if you see Bayley snake Lyra Valkyria and basically take that title from Becky Lynch. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens because we all know Bayley, she wants to get a title, man. You know what I'm saying? So the next segment of the show is, in my opinion, the best promo that happened last night. R-Truth comes out, and this is the first time that, you know, R-Truth speaks since returning to the WWE at the Money in the Bank. R-Truth jumps on the announce table, removes the ski mask off of his face, and says, "Don't let nobody tell you that you don't matter and that your voice don't matter." They heard, they listened, they felt, they understood, and R-Truth basically says that he's only back because of the fans. You know what I'm saying? All of the fans on social media was, you know, basically nailing Triple H to the cross for releasing R-Truth. And he says he's only back because of the fans. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a part of the storyline. Triple H was lying, acting like this was a part of the storyline. No, he really got released, and they brought him back because the fans were outraged. You know what I'm saying? So then R-Truth basically announces that he's turning heel and he's going back to his old character, Ron Killings. He says R-Truth can be too nice, too funny, too forgiving, but not Ron Killings. He says he feels different, he feels alive, and says that anybody that thinks that he's a gimmick, then he pulls out some scissors and he cuts his dreads off. And I think R-Truth should have done this a long time ago, bro, because R-Truth, he was balding, bro. The middle of his head is bald. He literally just has like the dreadlocks wrapped in a bun. And I think R-Truth should have cut his hair off a long time ago, man. So shout out to R-Truth for realizing that he looked like a goddamn fool with them 3 dreads in his head with a bald spot in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So then he says the truth has set him free. And then he officially announces, "I am Ron Killings. I am the truth. Nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name." You know what I'm saying? R-Truth is basically, you know, on his Birdman shit right now, man. Remember when Birdman had that interview with the Breakfast Club where he said, "Stop playing with my name"? R-Truth is on some Birdman type shit. You know what I'm saying? Playboy. All right, next segment. Liv Morgan pretty much get pissed off at her boyfriend Dirty Dom for celebrating Roxanne Perez's win to enter the King of the Ring match. And, Roxanne Perez basically tells Liv Morgan, look, I stopped Kairi Sane from pinning you. I helped you. And Liv Morgan just walks away pissed off, right? Next segment, we got Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in the back. And Seth Rollins is basically hyping up Braun Breaker before he enters his King of the Ring qualifier match, and basically says, Seth basically says he thinks that the Money in the Bank of the King of the Ring matches is an assault to, both of the main titles, but he says that he plans on getting the titles for him, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed either by victory or by heist. Braun Breaker goes woo 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 and basically walks out to start the match of the King of the Ring. So for the men's King of the Ring, we got a fatal four-way between Penta, Dirty Dom, Sami Zayn, and Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker starts the match off by beating up Sami Zayn. Then he catches Penta and mid-air, slams him, brutally clotheslines Dirty Dom. Then Sami does a sick DDT on Penta. Sami does a sick moonsault off the ropes on Braun Breaker. Then Penta jumps off the ring post onto Sami Zayn. Dirty Dom DDTs Penta. Then Braun jumps out the ring onto the announce table on top of Dirty Dom. Then Penta does a running powerbomb on Dirty Dom. Braun does that freaky, flip move where he jumps on the ropes, uses his legs to flip, the other person off the ropes. Then Sami Zayn Blue Thunders Dirty Dom. Looks like he's going to get the 3 count, but he doesn't. Then Penta snaps Sami's arm. You know that move that Penta does where he looks like he's breaking your arm? He does that move on Sami Zayn. Dom breaks it up after he tried to pin him. Then Penta hits the Mexican Destroyer. Braun stops the 3 count. Then Braun spears Penta outside of the ring. And then LA Knight hits his finishing move on Braun Breaker outside of the ring. You know what I'm saying? We all listen. It's obvious at this point that Triple H and TKO, they're paying attention to all of the negative comments on social media, especially on Twitter, which is now known as X, right? We all felt like LA Knight should have won the Money in the Bank on Saturday, right? We felt like he was robbed. And even after the match at the press conference, Triple H was talking about that. He basically said good things come to those that wait. So the fact that LA Knight stopped Braun Breaker from winning this King of the Ring qualifier, and the fact that Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed did not come out to help him, because that's all I was thinking about. I was like, why didn't Seth and Bronson Reed come out to help Braun Breaker win this match? It's obviously because they realized they made a mistake. Triple H made a mistake like he always does. He realizes that the fans wanted LA Knight to win, and he's trying to make up for it by LA Knight stopping Braun Breaker from winning, right? So after that, Sami Zayn does the Halua kick on Dom, and he wins the match to go to the King of the Ring match. Congratulations to Sami Zayn. You know what I'm saying? Sami Zayn deserves it, man. And yeah, man, this just proves that Triple H, he's been paying attention to all of the negative comments. And I think that these rumors of Triple H potentially getting fired in 18 months, it's true. And I think that Triple H is doing everything in his power to keep his job, right? So segment 8, we have AJ Styles. And he basically says he can't stop thinking about CM Punk, I guess because CM Punk, disrespected him or something like that, or maybe CM Punk did something to him at the Money in the whatever. I don't know. Don't really give a fuck, right? So AJ Styles basically says if you disrespect him, he's gonna punch you in the mouth, and he says that he's gonna go confront Chad Gable again, right? After this, the announce lady basically asks the New Day when are they gonna defend their tag team titles, and they basically tell Kathy that instead of questioning them, she should be happy that they're elevating the titles, right? But the New Day, their title run has been pretty boring, right? So next, segment 8, Nikki Bella returns. And I just want to ask you guys this, right? Who asked for Nikki Bella to return to the WWE, right? Like, I understand that she was engaged to John Cena, but I don't really think Nikki Bella was all that while she was active, man. But surprisingly, when she came out, there was a lot of people in the crowd wearing the Nikki Bella hat. You know how Nikki Bella wears the hat backwards? There was a lot of people in the crowd wearing the Nikki Bella hats. And there was actually a fan in the crowd last night that was crying because Nikki Bella returned, bruh. And I realized, I said, damn, Nikki Bella, she was a bigger star than I thought she was, bro. Like, maybe I just didn't really pay attention when she was wrestling, but I never viewed Nikki Bella in the same stratosphere as, Trish Stratus or Lita. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never held her in that regard, but she had a lot of fans that were happy to see her come back, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I just thought she was mostly popular for being engaged to John Cena, but I'd much rather see AJ Lee come back, man. AJ Lee was incredible, man. Hopefully she can come back one day, right? So, basically, Asuka's gonna return next Monday for the first time in over a year. Anyway, so Nikki Bella comes out and she says that, she's here to talk about the all women PLE Evolution that's coming back. And then she mentioned Stephanie Valkyrie, but she said Stephanie Valkyrie. She didn't even say her damn name right. And she basically just talks about all of the current female wrestlers that she thinks is doing a good job. And then Liv Morgan comes out and interrupts her and says that, Nikki Bella better mention her name when she's talking about the best female wrestlers, because Liv Morgan feels like she's the best. So Liv Morgan basically is in her face yelling, crashing out, and says that Nikki Bella is jealous of her because she has everything that she doesn't. She has respect, she has a title, and she has a man. Nikki Bella responds by saying she gets that Liv Morgan is mad because she just lost her match to qualify for King of the Ring. But she says, speaking of her man, she's trying to figure out who he belongs to, Liv Morgan or Roxanne Perez. And she tells Liv Morgan, congratulate. She tells Liv Morgan to congratulate Roxanne Perez for taking her spot in her man. So as Nikki Bella is leaving the ring, Liv Morgan basically does her finishing move on her. And this pretty much indicates that there's going to be a match at Evolution between Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella. All right. So let's get into the last part of the show, right? Let's get into the main event, right? So the main event between Jey Uso and Gunther, this was an incredible match, right? Jey Uso, he starts the match off by choking Gunther and tries to basically make him tap again. And Gunther runs out the ring because obviously he doesn't want that to happen, right? So once Gunther realized that Jey Uso had a midsection injury, which is why he was wearing a shirt, because Jey Uso was wrestling with his shirt on, Gunther takes Jey Uso's shirt off, sees that his midsection is covered in bandages, and he basically attacks that midsection the entire match, right? Jey tries to spear Gunther. Gunther counters Jey by choking him. Jey throws him out the ring. Gunther hits the German suplex. You know what I'm saying? Jey counters the suplex. Gunther take advantage of Jey not recovering quickly because of the damaged ribs. Gunther again goes for the sleeper choke. Jey counters and then throws Gunther out the ring. Jey hits the suicide dive. Gunther throws Jey into the post near the fans, then throws him back in the ring. Then Jey Uso spears Gunther. Jey hits the frog splash. Gunther kinks out. Michael Cole called it a moonsault splash, which I thought was funny. I'm pretty sure the moonsault splash is when you jump backwards off the rope. Just goes to show Michael Cole's a fucking idiot. And Gunther brutally spears Jey. Goes for the power bomb. Jey counters, but the second time Gunther went for the power bomb, he did connect. Jey Uso kicked out. Then Gunther spears Jey. Jey kicks out again. Gunther spears Jey, starts talking shit. Jey spears Gunther for the second time, goes for the splash for the second time. Gunther dodges. Jey Uso is basically in pain from his injury to his ribs in his midsection. And then Gunther goes for the submission and tap Jey. Jey tries to go for the ropes. Then Jey is able to stand back up on his feet. Gunther gets him back to the ground. Looks like Jey Uso's going to tap out again, but then he's able to stand up again. Jey hits the ground again. Then starts choking Gunther. He was able to counter Gunther and starts choking Gunther. Gunther stands up, falls to the ground. Gunther, is able to start choking Jey again. And then Jey Uso ends up losing the match. But Jey Uso didn't even tap, guys. He didn't tap when he lost the match. Jey Uso just pretty much passed out, and the referee stopped the match, right? So Jey Uso could say that even though he made Gunther tap, Gunther didn't make him tap. And I think that this could set up a third match between Jey Uso and Gunther, which is basically who can make who tap match, right? Like the only way you can win the match is if you make the person tap. because Gunther did not make Jey Uso tap. You know what I'm saying? But this is pretty sad, man, because Jey Uso's younger son, he was at the show. He ends up coming out to check on Jey Uso outside of the ring while he's recovering, man. And like I said, man, Seth Rollins should have cashed in the Money in the Bank and got this title off of Gunther, man. So that pretty much was the episode of last night's Monday Night Raw. And like I said, this was the best episode of Raw in a very long time. If it wasn't for the main event being ruined, I would have given it an 8 out of 10. But I would go ahead and say that this episode of Raw was a solid 7 out of 10. The best episode of Monday Night Raw in a very long time. So with that being said, it's your boy Wavy. Follow your boy, share the video, leave a comment. I'm about to go drink some water because I'm about to pass out from talking so damn long. I'm out. Peace.